Good day guys and girls, my name's Private Kookie, also known as Sam, and today Ravenfield has had a huge update. Now this is for Early Access 13, and this map may not look familiar to anyone at all. This is because Ravenfield now has a map editor. So let me show what I'm talking about. So this is a custom generated map by me. I made this, I put a few things around the place like that heli, and there's a few men flying over there. What's happening there? And so this is really basic, like you're not going to be making this kind of map, but you know, I just wanted to show off the concept, I guess. So let's just get right into the map editor. So once you're on the main page of Ravenfield, you will see map editor. Now, if you do not see this, make sure that you have the beta branch of Ravenfield enabled. If you don't have this, I have a video about it in the description below. So if I click on map editor here, and I click on load map, I'm going to go to my normal map that I just had, and this is my map. You know, it's pretty basic, but I'm not going to look at this map in particular. I'm going to actually create a new map. So what I'm going to do is try and figure out how to exit this. Okay, well, so to exit I had to go actually into a game. That was weird. Alright, well, let's go back into quick menu, map editor, and we're going to click create new map. So you'll see this like GUI on the left. You'll see generate map, small, medium, or large. We're going to go with a medium map. Biome, we're going to go, I just tried Flat Island. You saw it, it was kind of like Islands map, but we're going to go with Monument Valley, and we're just going to click generate. Now, you will get a map to show up, and you get to pick what you want. So it's going to be randomly generated. So just give it a second, it's generating. And here's our map. So as you can see, this is a map a lot like, what's it called? The desert map, I forgot what it's called. And a bit like Mountain Range, but it's very cool. So I'm just going to click on small, because that took way too long to load. I'm going to generate another one. And here we go. So we have a bit of a lake. Okay, this is also like canyon. Yeah. So we're just going to go with this one here, pretty flat, pretty nice. So we're going to click OK, and here we are, here's our map. Now, the normal like controls to move is WSD, W to go forward, S to go back, A to strafe left, U to straight right. And now you actually have to use right click to like pan around the camera, and I'm holding down shift to speed up like this. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through this like top HUD here, and we go left to right. So we've got save our map, so I'm just going to save my map real quick. Now, the test map was the one I was just using before, but we're going to call this Desert Landscape. Alright, now you see Open, that's next. Now, that's kind of self-explanatory, and same with Play. So first of all, we have Select. Now, this is kind of used just to, well, select things that you've placed on the board. So I'm just going to really quickly place, you know... Okay, that's a bit big. Alright, well, we'll just go with Capture Point. Right, we'll place a Capture Point. So here's our Capture Point. I clicked Escape to get rid of the Capture Point that I was currently placing. So here it is. Now, it's pretty basic, so if I click on select, this thing on the right will open up. If it doesn't open up, it may look like this. You just got to click on this little arrow thing right here, and it'll go to properties. Now, you have the name of the capture point. This is kind of like what shows up in-game. Like, when you're selecting where you want to spawn, this is what's going to be. So I'm just going to call it main base. Short name, this is optional. This is what you may want to call it in-game. Like, if you want name to be like what you're going to call it in the editor, short name is what you're going to call it in-game. You can leave this blank if you just want it to be the same. Owner, that's pretty straightforward. You got red or blue, eagle, raven. Then you have protect range, so how much they like have to protect and stuff. Capture range is how far you have to be from the flag to like start capturing the flag. Capture floor is like how high or low you have to be. Like you can be below the flag and still capture it. Capture ceiling, same thing but upwards. And then capture rate is how fast you capture it. So that's the select. Now we're going to move. Now this is a bit complex for people who haven't used things like Unity, but if you haven't used Unity, this is going to be very easy for you. So if you see the blue one here, this is the X-axis, so you can move it like this. Red, that's the Z-axis, and then green is the Y-axis. So blue is like left and right, red is forward and backwards, and green is up and down. So I'm just holding down left click and it's doing that, and if I hold down right click, and just hand okay, that's something. So next we have rotate. So now it's going to have these like, this big ball around it. So it's the same thing as what I just talked about. Click on one of these lines. Oh gosh. I've put it in the ground. Hold on, give me a second. There we go, boom, great. So we go back to rotate. There we go, we can rotate it. So as you can see, it's red, blue, and green. Then we have scale, and I can scale the crate like this. So I can make like a really tall, this skinny crate. There we go, that's our top-notch crate. And then we have terrain. Now I haven't actually tried this. This is like changing the terrain. So if I wanted to raise the land, I'd hold down left click. And I've got raise, flatten, or smooth. So if I want to smooth what I just did, I'll just like hold my mouse over it with my left click down. Then I got brush size, which is how big I'm like covering land. Brush intensity is how fast it is. And then you have like your layers. So I'm going to spawn in a bit of grass here and make it look beautiful. There we go. And then we're going to do a bit of sandstone. There we go, beautiful. And then place, which I'm gonna just spawn in a code. So this is kind of just like place, you know, things down. Then you have assets over here. This is like everything in the game. And so there's no textures at the moment, but I'm sure they will be added when early access 13 comes out. But if I want to replace a workbench, just click on it and bam, workbench, 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 workbench. And so you can go through all the maps. We've got coastline, canyon, archipelago. We've got some trenches here, which aren't actually in the game. I've never actually seen them. Snow temple, and we got level, which is just a resupply crate, which is mainly seen in most games. So next we go on to materials. Now this is only vanilla materials. This is no custom maps where you get to see like cool materials, like cool, I don't know, realistic ones. This is just the standard basic ones used in Ravenfield. Now these Sand Red and Sand Rock 1, they will be different if you play on the island like variant of them. But I'm only using the basic, what do you call it? Canyon sort of thing. And then lastly we have neighbors. Now for this one I'm going to have to place down another capture point, so let's place one maybe behind this rock so we don't get immediately killed. So there we go, and we're going to click on it with our select. Go to properties, I'm going to change this to red. There we go. Now we got a red and blue flag. Now if we click on neighbors here, this is kind of like how the pathfinding works for them. So if we really wanted to, we could make it just straightforward, but we could have like other flags around the place. But all we got to do is we got to click on one flag and then click on the other flag, and it'll just do this. And now if you're done, you just left click where there is no flag, and you'll see this on the left. So you see land. So this is they travel from flag to flag by land, by water, and then by one way. One way is pretty much they can only travel from one flag, but if they get to that flag, then they can't travel back. And then reverse is kind of just like for the one way, so you can do that. And then delete is, well, pretty straightforward. You just delete it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag one right back, and there we go. So that's our pathfinding done, and so that's all neighbors done. And so that's all you got to do for the map. I'm not going to really like create a really cool map because that's going to take hours, and I really want to get this video out. But if we now click on save again, save as desert landscape. Now, if you do not go through that neighbors thing that I said before, your game will have some buggy pathfinding, and it just won't work well. I don't think it'll work at all. So you have to go through that neighbors thing that I just did. It will warn you on save if you try to save it without doing the pathfinding. But yeah, so now if we click on play here, and we want to go onto desert landscape, click play, and just like that, we're into our game. Look at that. Look how easy that was to create a cool new map. Now, if you do want custom textures and custom models and all that, you are going to need... Oh my gosh, they just exploded! Oh, fire away! Oh, I just got wrecked. Oof. Oh, let me spawn. See how on the screen it says spawning at something in 1 second? I didn't actually add a short name down, so it's not going to do anything along those lines. So I'm just going to tap away here. You know, I'm going to pull out a railgun. Pew! Okay, well, I failed that miserably while trying to climb up. Oh, they're about to fly in again, just shoot the aircraft, boom! How did that go through him? So one more thing to note about this map editor is if you go to assets and you click on built-in types, you are going to have to add some spawn point. Well, you don't have to, but spawn points are like if you want them, like if I wanted red / Raven to spawn up here, I click there, and then I click on, well, normal. And this is kind of just where, I think the spawn point has to be inside of this. Yeah, so I'm just going to drag it down, put it across, and across. And there we go, now they'll spawn there. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. And kabam! Bye-bye.